everybody, it's Dr. Joe, and today I'm going to show you my top 7 ways to improve your posture while sitting at a desk. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So imagine that I'm sitting at a desk. It's just not here so you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing is to make sure you're in good posture while you're sitting at your desk. The most important thing is if you're just sitting regularly in a chair, you want to have your knees and your hips at about a 90-degree position. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want it to be pretty much there. And what that means is you want your seat height to be right and you want the floor height to be right. So if you're way up high and you're not really touching your toes, then that's not going to be good. And if you're way down low and your hips are up like this, then that's not good either, because that's going to cause a lot of pain and that's going to change your posture. You can see as soon as I brought my knees up, I have to kind of hunch down. So having that 90-90 really helps you have that good posture. So the second one is if you're at your desk and you're working on your computer and you're typing along, you want your arms to be parallel to the floor. Those forearms are your elbows. So elbows and arms parallel to the floor, and then you're typing like this. So if you're up high, if you're too low, then you're having to look up, and that really changes your position. See, again, I kind of slouch down. And then if you're too low up here and you're really up high, then you're going to have to kind of lean into it. So you really want the forearms and the elbows to be about parallel to the floor like that. The next one is going to be, you want your feet to be flat on the floor. Now, I know some people who are a little bit shorter have a really hard time with this because most desk chairs are kind of the lowest spot is really not low enough to get your feet to the floor. So if you can't get your feet flat on the floor, put a box or something or get a stool so you can have this position. Because again, that all goes back to if your feet aren't touching the floor, then you're going to be hanging down like this. And what happens with that is you end up getting a lot of pressure under here, and that can cause some numbness and tingling going into your legs, and it can also decrease the circulation to your legs. So that can be a really big problem. So making sure that you have good posture is the best way to go. So those are the ways to get good posture if you're at a traditional desk where you're sitting in a chair, getting that good posture. But if you're looking for some alternative ways, the kneeling desk, which is a little bit different, but still getting you in good posture, is a great way to do it. So let me show you that. Oh, hey, just answering some of your comments. So the folks at Victor Tech sent me their Edge desk system. And the reason that I want to talk about this today, it's a kneeling desk, as you can see. And a lot of people ask me about these. I've never actually tried one before, so I was really excited to try this. What is so cool about a kneeling system for me personally is I have a lot of hip issues. You guys know that I have a labral tear, a repair, and so a lot of times when I'm sitting for a long period of time, if I'm in that 90-90 position, it gets a lot of pain in that groin area where that torn labrum is. So as you can see here in the kneeling position, I'm opened up a little bit, so it's a little less than 90 degrees. And what that does is not only gets me in that upright position so I have really good posture, but it takes some pressure off of my hips, which is really, really comfortable. And I was surprised at how comfortable I am when I'm sitting in this position. So what's also really cool about the Edge desk system is it's super adjustable. You can change the height, you can change the seat height, you can have your feet a little closer to the floor if you want your toes to touch. Some people like that. You can change the angle of the desktop this way, and you can even turn it so it's in a long vertical view. So like if you're an artist or something like that, a lot of times you like it in that position so you can draw and things like that. So what I want to do real quickly is just go through it. But as you can see, the most important part is to get that upright position, to have your elbow kind of at that 90-degree, almost parallel to the floor kind of position, and have your head in that good neutral position. So you're not sitting here like this, but you're up like this. And what this seat does for me, as you can see, is that little bit of an angle. It's really hard to slouch in this position. It feels uncomfortable. I know a lot of times when people are sitting at desks, it feels more comfortable to slouch. This really kind of pushes me up into that upright position, and it takes all that pressure off of my back, which is great, because if you're getting in that good neutral position, it's making sure that your muscles are not working so hard or working in a bad position. So it's really great. It helps keep you focused because you're not in pain. So what I want to do real quick is just show you a couple of the key components here. So when you're moving the stuff around, you can do it this way. So if you want it at a little bit more of an angle, if you're drawing or something like that, you can. And it's really easy. You just kind of pull it up and adjust it there. There's a handle underneath here where you can make it longwise if you want to. And so again, then you can just kind of do it at an angle. So if you're an artist or something, you can have it in that long position. Also, what's really nice is you can change the height of it. And this is important because depending on how tall you are, you might need it higher or lower. But what's even cooler is you can take it up really high if you wanted to and go around and even use it as a standing desk for a while. So I really like that component as well. Based upon your height, there's different levels right here. So you can come up higher and that gives you just a little bit more of an angle. Or if you want to go down super low, and this is the one where if you wanted it a little bit lower, then your feet could touch a little bit. I personally don't like mine touching. I like having it just kind of so my feet can hang and be in a neutral position, but some people might want to have that just a little bit. So it's nice where it gives you those options of being able to move it around. And then the really cool part, especially if you are in a work environment, maybe even at home where you don't have a lot of space, when you're done with this, you can just make it all go down and then it's really small and compact and you could even slide it under your bed or something if you wanted to. And so that's a really cool component as well. So a lot of times I don't really want it out, and then so I can make it so it just comes all the way down. So it's a really nice thing. It's pretty easy to do where you just come all the way down and then you loosen up that piece and then you just drop it down. There, and then you can turn that way and then just store it under something. So if you're interested in purchasing the Edge Desk System, make sure and click on the link up here. So now that you know how to have all that good posture at your desk and a cool desk to use if you want, now I'm going to show you some exercises and stretches to help you keep that good posture. So my favorite is a chin tuck. Chin tucks are really good for anything. They're good for headaches, they're good for stress, they're good for when that forward head motion starts going, especially if you're working at a desk. This is what happens a lot. Or if you're a gamer and you're gaming, a lot of times people tend to get closer to that screen and that ends up really stressing out those neck muscles. So chin tucks are super easy to do. You can do them anywhere. They look kind of silly, but they're really effective. So when you're doing a chin tuck, you're not tucking down like this, but you're tucking that chin back and in. So a lot of times I like using my finger as a target, but you don't have to. It just sometimes allows you to see how much that we're overstretched with those muscles and you're resetting yourself. So what I like to do is keep that chin in a neutral position. So you're not like tucking in like this and you're not tucking in like this. You're keeping it right here and you're just taking that chin and tucking it in. So then you have lots of little chins right there. Hold that for about 3 to 5 seconds and then relax. And a lot of times you can feel the difference that your head is actually moving back into that neutral position. So sometimes that's why I like putting the finger there. And so then you just hold the finger where it is, tuck away, hold that for about, again, 3 to 5 seconds. And then when you relax, a lot of times you can see some space in there and that just means that everything's kind of resetting. So that's a really great one to kind of reset that posture, improve your posture, and that again, that will take away sometimes if you've had those headaches. That's a great way to get rid of those headaches because the more you're pushing this way is stressing out all those vessels, and a lot of times that's what gives you that headache. So then the next one is just going to be scapular or shoulder squeezes, because again, a lot of times our shoulders will roll forward and we'll kind of hunch over like this. So a scapular squeeze, or those shoulder blade squeezes, is really just kind of what it sounds like. You're squeezing it back. So imagine that somebody's hand is right on your spine in between those shoulder blades. And all you're doing is you're just trying to squeeze those shoulder blades back. The key to this is don't hunch up your shoulders and squeeze back. Really relax them down and try and almost squeeze downwards while you're squeezing. So again, just hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. You can see that's opening up my chest area. That's really kind of making it nice. That's working those upper back muscles that a lot of times don't work, and that's why you go forward. So Sometimes people have a little bit of a hard time getting that down. So if you want to use your elbows to kind of help going back this way, you can, but make sure you're activating those muscles. You're not just pushing them back with your elbows. See, I'm just pushing them back with my elbows now and I'm not activating those muscles. So make sure you're squeezing those muscles back and making sure you're getting that contraction to activate those muscles while you're doing it. So again, 3 to 5 second hold. All you have to do is about 5 times just to kind of reset everything. And then the last one is just going to be a pec stretch or a chest stretch, because again, when you have that forward roll of the shoulders, those pec muscles end up getting really tight. And a lot of vessels go through this area. So when those pec muscles get tight, sometimes you get numbness and tingling down your arms, they get cold, they get tired and fatigued. And so it's really good to have these muscles nice and stretched out so you're in this upright position. So the easiest one to do if you're at your desk is just take your hands, clasp them back behind you. And what you want to do is you're going to push down and out with your hands and then push your chest forward. So since this is a full stretch, you want to hold this stretch for 30 seconds. So really get that good stretch in there. It's going to kind of be that hurt so good stretch. If it just hurts, don't do it. But after that 30 seconds, take a little 10-second break, shake it out, and do that a total of 3 times. So those are my top 7 ways to improve computer posture while sitting at a desk. If you're interested in purchasing the Edge Desk system, make sure and click on the link up here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking down here. And remember, be safe, get yourself in good posture, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.